Imagine waking up tomorrow, and Ryan Reynolds is no longer Wrexham's owner. Sounds impossible, right? Well, the unthinkable just became a conversation worth having. Hey, Red Dragons! Welcome back to MANIA WREXHAM AFC, your home for everything that makes our club beat with passion and pride. If you bleed red like we do, smash that like button right now, drop a comment below, and hit subscribe so you never miss a single moment of this incredible journey. Because today, we're talking about something that could shake Wrexham to its very core. Less than 24 hours after our heartbreaking Carabao Cup exit against Cardiff City, a bombshell rumour has emerged that no Wrexham fan ever wanted to hear. Ryan Reynolds, the man who, alongside Rob McElhenney, rescued our beloved club from the depths of the National League and transformed us into a championship side, is now being linked with a potential exit. Yes, you heard that right. The Hollywood co-owner who brought global attention, investment, and hope back to North Wales might be considering a move away. But before panic sets in, let's break down exactly what's happening, why this story has surfaced now, and what it could mean for the future of Wrexham AFC. Let's rewind to Tuesday night at the STK Kai Raz. The atmosphere was electric, a proper Welsh derby under the lights, Wrexham versus Cardiff City in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. This was the first meeting between these two sides in over 23 years, and the anticipation was absolutely massive. Cardiff opened the scoring through Youssef Salek in the 13th minute, but Kiefer Moore, our big summer signing, levelled things up with a powerful header just after half-time. The Red Dragons were back in it. The crowd roared. We believed. But football can be cruel. William Fish scored for Cardiff with less than 20 minutes remaining, and despite everything Phil Parkinson's men threw at them, the Bluebirds held on for a 2-1 victory. It was a gutting loss, not just because we exited the cup, but because it added to a growing sense of frustration around the team's performances this season. Fast forward to the next morning, and Genting Casino drops this absolute bombshell. They're now offering odds of 25-1 on Ryan Reynolds leaving his position as Wrexham owner at the start of the 2026-27 campaign. 25-1 might sound like long odds, but the fact that it's even being discussed is what's sending shockwaves through our fanbase. Even more eye-catching, they're also offering 50-1 odds on Reynolds investing in Inter Miami alongside David Beckham. Inter Miami, the club that's home to Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez, and Jordi Alba. A team operating in an entirely different stratosphere. Now, let's be crystal clear here, there's no official statement from Reynolds, Rob, or anyone at the club suggesting this is happening. But in the world of football, where there's smoke, fans start asking questions. And after a disappointing cup exit and a tough start to our championship campaign, those questions are louder than ever. Social media absolutely erupted. Wrexham supporters couldn't believe what they were reading. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, every corner of the internet where Red Dragons gather was buzzing with shock, confusion, and no small amount of fear. Some fans dismissed it immediately as clickbait nonsense. Others started spiraling, asking what would happen if Ryan and Rob actually walked away. Would the dream be over? Would we slide back down the leagues? Cardiff fans, still buzzing from their cup victory, couldn't help but throw in a few cheeky comments. Maybe Reynolds realised Wrexham aren't the top dogs in Wales after all, one supporter posted. Ouch. That stung. Meanwhile, football pundits and media outlets picked up the story within hours. Headlines screamed about Hollywood potentially abandoning North Wales. Some analysts speculated that the pressure of championship football, combined with the enormous financial investment required to compete at that level, might be weighing heavily on the ownership group. Others suggested this was nothing more than bookmakers stirring the pot for attention. But here's the thing, even if it's just speculation, the fact that it's out there is enough to make every Wrexham fan pause and think. What if? To understand why this rumour has such emotional weight, we need to go back to where it all began. In 2021, Wrexham AFC was a club on its knees. We'd been stuck in the National League for over a decade, attendances were dwindling, and the future looked bleak. Then, out of nowhere, two Hollywood A-listers, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, stepped in and bought the club for £2 million. It sounded like a fairy tale. And honestly, it was. Under their ownership, everything changed. They invested heavily in the squad, brought in quality players, and most importantly, they gave Wrexham a global platform. The documentary series Welcome to Wrexham became a worldwide sensation, turning our small Welsh town into a household name from Los Angeles to Tokyo. We won back-to-back promotions, first from the National League to League Two, then from League Two to League One, and finally, last season, we achieved the unthinkable and reached the championship. Ryan and Rob became more than just owners. They became part of the fabric of the club. They attended matches, engaged with fans, and genuinely cared about Wrexham's success. Reynolds famously said in an interview, "I'm not treating this like a vanity project. This is real. This matters." But now, after spending an estimated £30 million on summer signings, including Kiefer Moore, Nathan Broadhead, and Connor Cody, the team sits 16th in the Championship with 3 wins, 5 draws, and 4 losses from 12 games. It's not the start anyone hoped for. And while there's no indication that Phil Parkinson's job is under threat from the club's hierarchy, some media outlets have already started linking former Wolves boss Gary O'Neill with the manager's position. Could the on-field struggles be making Reynolds and McElhenney reconsider their long-term commitment? It's a question no one wants to ask, but one that's now impossible to ignore. Let's talk about the man at the center of this storm, Ryan Reynolds himself. The Canadian actor is one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. Between Deadpool films, Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile, and about a dozen other business ventures, the guy is worth hundreds of millions. He doesn't need Wrexham for money or fame. He chose us because he genuinely fell in love with the club and the community. But Reynolds has also been linked to other football ventures in the past. Back in the winter of 2024, he was reportedly interested in a stunning £300 million takeover of Vancouver Whitecaps, the MLS team from his hometown in Canada. That deal never materialized. Instead, the Whitecaps shifted their plan to finding a new investor rather than a complete sale. Still, it showed that Reynolds' interest in football extends beyond Wrexham. Now, with Inter Miami being mentioned alongside his name, fans are wondering if Reynolds sees a bigger opportunity in Major League Soccer. Inter Miami is owned by David Beckham and the billionaire Mars brothers, whose construction empire has given them serious financial muscle. They've built a team around Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest footballer of all time, and they're playing in a league that's rapidly growing in popularity and commercial value. Could Reynolds be tempted by the allure of Miami? The sunshine, the global superstars, the American market? It's possible. But it's also worth remembering that Reynolds has repeatedly said Wrexham is special to him in a way no other project could be. Then there's Rob McElhenney, Reynolds' co-owner and fellow Hollywood star. Rob has been just as committed to Wrexham, often attending matches even more frequently than Ryan. If Reynolds were to leave, would Rob stay? Or would this be the end of the Hollywood era altogether? And we can't forget Phil Parkinson. The manager who delivered 3 promotions in 3 years is now under scrutiny for the first time since taking charge. He's done nothing to deserve criticism, but football is ruthless. If results don't improve, even the most loyal ownership might be forced to make difficult decisions. Wrexham's story under Reynolds and McElhenney has been compared to a Hollywood movie, because, well, it literally is one. But in football history, there are other examples of wealthy, high-profile owners transforming clubs and then walking away. Look at Malaga in Spain. They were taken over by a Qatari billionaire in 2010, spent huge money on stars like Isco and Javier Saviola, and even reached the Champions League quarter-finals. Then the money dried up, the owner lost interest, and the club plummeted down the leagues. It's a cautionary tale. Or consider what happened at Leeds United under various ownerships over the years. Big investment, big dreams, financial collapse, heartbreak. Wrexham fans know better than anyone how quickly football fortunes can change. But here's the key difference. Reynolds and McElhenney aren't distant billionaires. They're hands-on, emotionally invested, and deeply connected to the community. If they were to leave, it wouldn't be because they didn't care. It would be because the financial or personal demands became too much. Still, the fact that we're even having this conversation shows just how fragile the dream can be. Wrexham went from the bottom of English football to the Championship in record time. But staying there, that's the real challenge. So what happens if Ryan Reynolds actually leaves? Let's game this out. Best case scenario. This is all just noise. Reynolds and McElhenney reaffirm their commitment, Wrexham stabilises in the Championship, and we continue building toward a Premier League dream. The documentary keeps rolling, the investment keeps flowing, and the Red Dragons keep roaring. Worst case scenario. Reynolds exits, investment dries up, and Wrexham faces financial uncertainty. We've seen it before in football. New owners come in with less passion, less money, or less understanding of what makes a club special. The momentum we've built could vanish overnight. But here's what I believe, and what I think every Wrexham fan deep down believes too. Ryan and Rob aren't going anywhere. Not yet. Not after everything they've built. Yes, the Championship is tough. Yes, results haven't been perfect. But this is still only our first season at this level. There will be growing pains. There will be setbacks. That's football. What matters now is how the club, the players, and the fans respond. We need to rally behind Phil Parkinson and the team. We need to show Reynolds and McElhenney that Wrexham is worth fighting for, not just because of Hollywood magic, but because of the heart and soul of this community. Because at the end of the day, Wrexham isn't just a football club. It's a heartbeat that never stops. It's a town that refused to give up, even in the darkest times. It's a community that welcomed two Hollywood outsiders and made them family. And it's a story that's still being written, one match, one moment, one dream at a time. Ryan Reynolds didn't save Wrexham. Wrexham saved itself. Ryan and Rob just gave us the tools to rise again. And that will never be forgotten, no matter what happens next. So, Red Dragons, what do you think? Is this just media nonsense, or is there real cause for concern? Do you believe Ryan Reynolds is here to stay, or could Hollywood be calling him elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love this club as much as we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next in this incredible Wrexham journey. Because win, lose, or draw, we're all in this together. Always forward, Red Dragons. Always forward.